Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short, little unboxing video to share with you guys. This Spyderco knife is a Blade HQ exclusive, and it drops tomorrow! Well, hey everybody, Metal Complex here, coming to you from my living room where I'm hanging out in socks and pants for all you know. I'm relaxing when really I should be paying attention to my schedule and when I upload videos. My plan was actually to release this video on the afternoon of the 19th, and I didn't. So instead you're getting it the morning of the 20th, meaning this knife actually drops here in like an hour or two, depending on where you are. I got this up as early as possible. That was my fault. Should have been yesterday. It's today. Anyways, be ready for it. The link's in the description. Back to the video. March 20th at 10 a.m. Mountain, I think it's MDT, is that Mountain Daylight Time? You'll just have to convert, right? But that's what it says on their website, which is, again, 10 a.m. MDT. So make sure that you are ready, because this particular configuration of this knife is going to be stupidly popular. These will likely sell extremely fast. Some variations of Spyderco knives, I think, who cares, right? And it's easy to look at it and say, different steel, different color. Sometimes different steel, different color on certain knives is a big deal. Depends on the model, depends on the configuration. This particular model and configuration is going to be very popular. Thank you so much to Blade HQ for supplying this knife so I can share it with you guys. Just barely, right? By this came in yesterday, just barely got here. So thanks for sending it in. The link for this is down in the description. You guys can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on. So I only have, believe it or not, as a huge Spyderco fan and as somebody who owns well over 400 pocket knives, I only own one other variation of this knife. A lot of these that I have, purchased or received, they've been given away. All of them, literally, except for one, which I still have. That's the one that I use for the size comparisons, right? Spoiler alert, this is a PM2. What variation of the PM2 do we have here? It says Paramilitary 2 in Nat G10 or Natural G10, DM Magnacut PE. Let's find out. Oh boy, I have two things that I have completely 180'd on in the 8 years that I have been, actually, I've been a knife enthusiast for much longer, but the 8 years I've been on YouTube, coming up on 9, oh my God. Oh, I'm an old YouTuber. I'm almost 9. It's like in dog years, man. Holy moly. Two things that I've come around on. Number one, the PM2, while definitely kind of an ugly knife, is one of the best pocket knives on earth, period. Number two, Natural G10 or Flue Booger G10 is not as ugly as I had originally thought. In fact, I have gone totally 180 on Natural G10, and I now think that it's awesome. I love Natural G10, especially what Spyderco does. This is spectacular. Let me tell you why I was so excited for this. This is a full diamond texture G10. Spyderco's peel ply texturing has always been fine. I always find myself swapping the scales out. If you take a look at my other Spyderco knives, almost all of them have been modified. But Spyderco's, like the USA Spyderco's, if you didn't know, Spyderco does have inexpensive knives that are made in China. They have knives that are made in Italy, Taiwan, Japan, the United States, and is there anything else? I don't know. There's probably at least one other out there, right? But when it comes to like the USA stuff, the peel ply texturing that's typically on Spyderco knives is fine. It's okay. This diamond texturing, right away, I knew that I was going to like it. I knew that I was going to think it was a ton better, and that is absolutely the case. The diamond texturing here is very cool. So this variation of this knife has a satin Magnacut blade. I'm kind of at war with myself here. Obviously, I have more EDC knives than I can possibly rotate, right? I have a ton of Safe Queens. Everybody knows that. Some of my most expensive and most valuable knives will never get used, right? Despite all of the weeping maidens of the use your crap knife community crowd. No, I have too many to use, right? But the ones that I do use, I have tons of them, right? I've probably got 50 users in my collection, maybe closer to 100. Some knives get, collected. And they just stay in perfect condition, and sometimes they end up as users. Look at that action, man. It's so, right out of the box, it's so good on phosphor bronze. This is a PM2 that I'm going to have a hard time not using, and I may just end up using it anyway, despite the fact that the value of this will almost inevitably go up after they are sold out. And this is a reality, right? My existence in this community will not change the fact that these knives will sell out, and immediately, some of them, a small percentage of them, will be resold on the secondary market for a profit. This has always been the case with Spyderco before I was here, and many other content creators that are similar to me that like to showcase products like this. It's going to be the case one way or another, right? So, whether or not I'm going to use it really doesn't matter. Like, the value afterwards really doesn't matter. This is going to be a collection piece for some and a user for others. But for people who do decide to use it, what an amazing user. Spyderco, known for not only their edge geometry and cutting performance and just ease of manipulation, just their usefulness as a tool, like the models, especially the PM2, their usefulness as a tool all the way around. Couple that with the fact that Spyderco generally heat treats their blades very, very well. I believe Spyderco's target range for Magnacut is somewhere between 62 and 64, which is typically what we want to see anyway, right? And I think Taylor, who you'll see down in the comments, he of course has the steel hardness project. You can find linked at the bottom of my description if you want to go see the data he's collected. Has quite a bit of data on Spyderco knives, but as his data grows, obviously we'll see more and more and more of that. But I think Spyderco's Magnacut is coming in, within those ranges that the community wants. So this is going to be very preferable. Yes, this does come in both a satin blade and a DLC coated blade. You'll notice that the hardware here is black. I actually didn't realize that. Also, yeah, PM2s from the factory, they come tipped down. I will switch this. Whether I plan to use it or just keep it in my collection, I'll still switch it because it just looks better. But that's going to be a preference here. You have obviously tip down, tip up, left or right. You have a quad positional mounting for the pocket clip. But the black hardware here, some people will like it with I think probably the best looking version of this knife is going to be the one that's full DLC because the blade will match the pocket clips. I really wish that Spyderco would get on the satin DLC train. They still like that matte chalky DLC, which is fine. It does slow you. There's a little bit of drag there versus the satin stuff. So the better cutting performer, if you are somebody who really notices drag while you're cutting, probably going to be this guy. But the version that's going to be the most sought after for its aesthetic and just the prestige of it being DLC is probably going to be the DLC version, even though in practice the DLC, at least for a little bit, at least for a while, cutting with the DLC the Spyderco's chalky DLC, it'll kind of drag a little bit. After a while, those of you who have used a lot of Spyderco knives that have that DLC, after a period of time, that surface kind of smooths out and it ends up being essentially trivial, right? That's my experience with Spyderco DLC. I say go with whichever one you want. I think that's fine, but I love this full textured scale here. I love that. You can see it ends there right on the edge. I love the translucent green well, I don't know if we can really call this green. Whatever color is in between yellow and green at the top end, add translucence to it. Maybe a little bit of illness. Maybe we need to go to the doctor, right? If the snot looks like this, but it's a cool looking G10. I like it. I like the fact that it's translucent. I think that's cool. Of course, Spyderco compression lock. The newest, over time, Spyderco's, like if you order a Spyderco knife, truthfully, some of the best fit and finish ones are going to be the Taichung Taiwans. If you didn't know that, yeah, they're usually consistently the best, right? Your Japanese Spydercos and your US Spydercos typically are kind of like balanced in terms of like what you can expect in terms of fit and finish and consistency. I feel like my experience with the USA stuff has been more consistent. I think they're second best. Close to Taichung Taiwan consistency is the USA stuff. You can see here, now people will say, well, this was handpicked by Blade HQ for you, and fair enough. We have an even bevel here on, it looks like both sides. We also have no lock stick and beautiful drop shut action on phosphor bronze, and we also have perfect centering with no detent latch. This is the type of stuff that I look for. So this came in beautiful. And honestly, the last few USA Spydercos that were either sent to me directly by retailers or that were purchased by me, they've all been really, really good. So I think that the Golden, Colorado, Spyderco facility has just gotten better and better and better in terms of, consistency and quality control. Let's actually read the special, because these, when we have special variations, sprint runs, or dealer exclusive versions of Spyderco, they always come with a little unique piece of paper here. Dear Spyderco customer, thank you. The Paramilitary 2 is 1-1. This has a misprint. 1-1 is 1-1 of Spyderco's most popular, one of Spyderco's most popular and in demand folding knives. Let me correct this. I don't care about the 1-1. I think that's actually really funny. I hope they all come with this. I hope they all come with this little misprint here. I think that's great. It is Spyderco's most popular model. I think by quite a bit. I've maintained this over many, many years, right? Buck 110 fans always get really upset. If you take the knife community as it is currently, the knife community that is paying attention and ears to the ground, whether you're casual or hardcore, you're paying attention, digesting content from the EDC community in one way or another, right? Forums, YouTube, whatever, right? Whatever your platform of choice is. If you come across a poll of the top 50 greatest EDC folding knives of all time, and it is at least fairly accurate, it includes knives like the Buck 110, the Benchmade 940, the Bug Out, the Chris Reeve Sabenza, the Spyderco PM2 Para 3. There's a bunch of them, right? You know what'll always be at the top? You could get 10,000 votes, 100,000 votes, 500,000 votes, 1,000,000 votes. You want to know which knife will always be at the top? The PM2. It will. It will absolutely be at the top. The only way it's not going to be at the top is if you take a really small group of people who are hardcore enthusiasts of some other brand that is not Spyderco, right? It'd have to be like an anti-Spyderco poll. But if you take a general population interested in pocket knives with at least enough general knowledge of the surface knife world, the most popular folding knife of all time for EDC is always, you would think Para 3 up there. It's probably pretty close. It wouldn't surprise me if that ended up as number 2, but the PM2 is just too powerful. It is. I remember polling this 7 or 8 years ago, and somebody polled it here within the last 3 years, and it was still the same. The PM2 is too popular. I mean, it's just always going to be that way. That's just the way that it is. So, rightfully so. I personally don't think it's the best knife on earth, but it would consistently make a top 10 or top 20 of all time, right? The PM2 is just a great knife, right? Ergonomics are awesome. Not going to win any beauty pageants, that's for sure, but very cool. This is probably my favorite variation of the PM2 that's ever been created. Gigantic fan of it. There's a lot of similarities in terms of both the size and the lines. This is my own Excalibur that I designed, but the overall size and general ergonomic lines here are absolutely to my preference, so it should be no surprise that this would be something that I would enjoy EDCing. Truthfully, between this and the Para 3, I've always enjoyed the Para 3 a little bit more, but I still really enjoy this one, right? Some people like the total amount of cutting edge to handle ratio that kind of bothers them, right? But it really it comes down to preference. This is a good knife. It's a really good EDC knife, even if you hate the way that it looks. Which I did in the beginning. I did. Now I look at this and I'm like, that's the PM2. My brain doesn't even really think ugly knife or pretty knife. It's just, that's the PM2. That's a great tool, right? The half pair of scissors. That's what, initially, that's what this looked like to me, was a half a pair of scissors. This is a really, really cool, collab here. Probably going to be one of the most popular, at least in recent years, this Blade HQ Magnacut collab here, or this dealer exclusive. So, W Blade HQ, very cool. Good luck. Again, these will be popping up on Blade HQ tomorrow morning. That's the 20th, 10 a.m. MDT, 11 a.m. CST, and 12 noon EST. Did I get that right? God, I hope so. I don't want to have to go back and edit it. Anyways, very cool. I'm going to keep this one either way. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy, oh my God, go click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.